get this started. Sorry, everyone, I got kicked out. Okay, I think we're good now. So we're gonna get started slowly. I'm just gonna add some spotlights here to our guests. Okay, so welcome everyone to today's Get Inspired session with African Designers Mall. My name is Jennifer. I'm the community leader for Ecom Connect. And this series, Get Inspired, is essentially as we do with that have an inspiring mentorship and just anything that can give you some insight on your e-commerce journey. It's always really helpful to hear stories of people who have kind of been there and done that. And so that's kind of all right, let's start over. I keep getting kicked out of Zoom for some reason. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you hear my intro or did everything freeze?
Yeah, it froze a bit, so you might have to start afresh.
Okay, let's reset the page. So essentially, I was just quickly saying that my name is Jennifer. I'm the community leader for Ecom Connect. And these Get Inspired series, the goal is to have conversations and interviews with other e-commerce entrepreneurs and companies who have sort of been there and done that, so that we can learn from them, get some inspiration, and get some insights on our own journeys with our own e-commerce businesses. So we're going to get started, and I just need to repin my guests because I lost everything when I got kicked out. Here we go. So first I'm going to introduce, is it Ebel or Ebel?
Anyone works, but Ebele.
Ebele. So because of my English, French, Spanish, I never know how to say it. So welcome to this Get Inspired session. We're really excited to have a conversation with you about your incredible company, African Designers Mall. And we have also with us Angel, who is who's, I guess you guys have sort of mentored Angel, right, through this whole process?
Yeah, she's a retailer on ADM. She has an accessory brand, and we also collaborate with her because she's a top influencer in Nigeria and Africa as well. So we collaborate with her for collections, and she's also a retailer.
Great, amazing. So welcome, Angel. We're super excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's going to be nice to hear your story, and everyone, you'll understand a little bit more kind of why also we have Angel here highlighting her story, because it's essentially part of how African Designers Mall give back in a way and create impact through their company. So Ebel, would you like to just start us off by sharing a little bit about what is African Designers Mall and how this whole thing started?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Chris, for organizing this. I remember when you told me about this, I was so excited, to be part of this. Before now, I had met your team in Madagascar when they hosted something with Nigeria and entrepreneurs. So it's so great to connect to you here and, the e-commerce platform. So hello, everyone. My name is Ebele Udo. I'm the founder of African Designers Mall, popularly called ADM, the Farfetch of Africa. So ADM is a technology platform for Africa's fashion and art industry. It's a global digital marketplace. People usually think it's a fashion company, but it's not a fashion company. It's a tech company that integrates different African brands on using tech in a marketplace to sell globally to the international space. So that is what that is what ADM basically does. We connect the best styles from Africa to the global market. So that way we're saving designers and creatives operational costs. They are to help them leverage e-commerce and online to sell to anyone in the world. So a few overview about African Design Armor, just key points so we don't waste time. It's first of all, it's Africa's most innovative e-commerce company. We launched in 2016, but after we went through a phase that let us shut down for about a year, and we started operations in 2019. I'll tell the story later, right? In the course of this this session. We are known for connecting premium brands to the global market because we have this notion, the international space have this notion about things from Africa are usually inferior, right? So we're trying to change this narrative that brands from Africa can actually sell top well-finished products, and that is our vision. That is what we're pushing. We'll have over 10,000 monthly subscribers. We sell over 100,000 products on ADM. And now we're also looking to go into Web3, going into NFTs and all. So basically that's what African Designers Mall is about.
And tell me about what inspired the idea to start African Designers Mall? Because every time I've spoken to you, I feel a lot of passion in your work and that you have for your brand. So I'd love if you could share a little bit of like how it started, why it started. Yes, that would be great.
Okay, great. So ADM started from a personal struggle, right? So before ADM, I worked in a tech company where I provided software solutions for the financial sector. So what I did was I go into their tech space and I analyze what they already use. Then I either advise if they need a new software or if they can optimize the one they already have. So, but that was my first interest into tech. But within that period, I traveled a lot to the States and the UK, and my friends, whenever they saw what I wore, they'll be like, oh my God, where did you buy it from? I want to buy it. And I can't help them buy it until I get back to Nigeria. Then I go to the store, I buy it, and I find a way to ship it. So I found a space. I found that loophole there. So what I did was so the struggle was a lot because anywhere I went, even when I went for a fashion event in SA, I hadn't even started my company yet. People were like, oh, what are you wearing? Because I design as well. So I designed my stuff for myself. I hadn't started making my own clothing. So I designed. So people always wanted to buy. And there was no way for them to buy online, right? So I thought to myself, how do I connect the dots? How do I connect Africa, fashion, tech, and media to solve a problem? Then I said, you know what? E-commerce, but when I thought about it, it wasn't really a thing here. People were stuck with brick and mortar. Online was a problem because a lot of people have issues with security, putting their card online, shopping online, and things like that. So it was a struggle. But I started anyway. It was a struggle even to get the website running. It was tears, cry, disappointment, because the IT specialists could not understand the vision of what I was trying to do. They knew how to build a website, but they didn't understand how I wanted the e-commerce to run. So it was a struggle. Even the day we launched with Mattel was our partner. The website wasn't even ready, so it was a struggle. But what led me to building the platform is from personal struggle, just to make sure people can buy their favorite designers online with the tap of a button. That was what led to this, and we're here today.
I love that. And clearly that's why I feel so much passion every time you speak about this incredible company.
Yes. And also, after a year that we launched, we had a big problem because Nigeria wasn't ready for e-commerce, and we didn't inventory. People,
Right.
even though we had what is it called? We had quality assurance team in place. After the first phase of quality assurance, we don't keep inventory. So people started shipping inferior goods to our customers overseas. People
Right.
started complaining. At some point, it was a problem because these customers don't know these brands. They know ADM. We're the ones collecting their money. So at some point, I had to make a decision to either shut down, rebrand, or refund everybody and close down the business. So after consulting a couple of people that were my mentors, they said, you know what, refund the customers, shut down the business and rebrand it to premium. So we shut down for over a year. We started operations again in 2019. People thought we were dead and gone, but I'm glad we're here, stronger, and I've learned so much about e-commerce. Being able to manage expectations, quality assurance, standing on your vision and your mission and not compromising on quality. Yeah, I've learned. Yes.
I mean, I think it's great. Sometimes in business, we think that we can't pause, we just need to keep going and keep going and keep going. And there can be a lot of wisdom in just taking a moment to pause and elevate the work that we're doing. And what I love about this, I think the favorite part about African Designers Mall is the mentorship program you have, and how essentially even just through that mentorship program, which I'd love for you to talk about a little bit more, like you guys decided to elevate your brand, and through the mentorship program, you're helping the African designers also elevate their brand so that you guys can partner together. So tell us a little bit about the mentorship program that you guys have with ADM.
So ADM, the mentorship program wasn't there initially, but when we shut down and rebranded, I had to find a way to bring the kind of brands that will represent Africa properly on the platform. It's not about the big brands. It's not about the brands that are successful. Some brands are successful here, but their finishing is poor, right? So it's not just about having a big name. It's about being able to understand the reason why we're pushing Africa to the global market, so they can also compete with the brands over there that are so good. So we started a bit of mentorship whereby the brands we bring on board, we run them through how to brand, how to finish, the kind of systems, the kind of tailors they can employ, to understand the ethics of, having a clothing brand. So for example, Angel, when Angel wanted to start, she had a great vision to start. But one of the things I did for her was to make her understand that she's like greatly talented, but she needs to interpret her brand to be seen as premium. So even her social media, her finishing, her branding for her bags, and which we did for other brands as well. So that way, when people, like for example, when people order her bags, they go like, oh wow, it's exactly what I saw on the website, is what I received. Oh wow, it's so well finished, So that guidance has helped every brand on ADM to go be above what they would have done on a normal day. Maybe they might not really understand attention to details. We help them understand that. So they go through that process for a period of 4 to 6 weeks before we onboard the brands.
Right.
So that mentorship is not for brands that don't know what they're doing already. Brands that already started, but they need a little bit, maybe when they signed up with us, we found little, like 1 or 2 issues they have. Then we guide them to that mentorship so that they can level up to be signed up. Because there are some steps you have to meet to be on ADM. So sometimes people meet like 5 steps and they fail in the 2. So the 2 remaining might be finishing or packaging, because they have to send their products to us for us to do the quality assurance. Maybe the packaging is not well done. So we send it back and ask someone in their team to meet with us for guidance and maybe for 3 weeks training on how to package, on how to label, on how to finish, weaving, threading, and things like that. It helps them. And it's a great thing for them because it runs across board their brands. They now become better, even if they're not selling with us, they become better, It's tough. it's tough because it comes up as, oh, we're really tough, the kind of brands we bring on, but it also helps them, it gives them clarity on the brand, brand positioning, brand awareness, brand story. All those things are things will help to guide them during the process as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is incredible, and there's such a beautiful cycle in this whole thing. One, it ensures consistent quality for ADM, so that everyone is, at the same level. And then it allows, because I think there's a lot of, e-commerce brands out there, entrepreneurs that are trying to get into the market, but they're not there. There's like those things missing, like you said, in terms of quality, but they're kind of left in the dark with no one helping them get from like here to here, so that they can get that larger visibility. So I think that this mentorship program is incredible. And Angel, I would love to hear from you, your experience going through this mentorship program, like just even personally as an entrepreneur, and then what was the journey like? Where were you when you first met ADM, and where is your brand now?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So thank you, Jen. This is really, really fun. When Bella told me about it, I was so excited to join this call and even have a conversation about ADM, because I always tell her ADM is one of the brands that I really, really, really respect in Africa as a whole, because I feel like what they have been able to accomplish and the kind of brand they've been able to build in a country or in Africa where indigenous brands are not as forward thinking as as they're supposed to be in comparison with other parts of the world. I always give her kudos for how effective her brand has been, being intentional, being deliberate, being paying attention to all of the little details. And when I met Ebele, which was years from now, what I liked most about her was her style. And she had created stuff, she had sent me stuff for work, and the content did very well, the outfit did really well, everybody loved her creation. And as time had gone by, I was like, okay, this is a good person, he's a great friend. And then we went into business together, and that was when I started to start my own accessory line, because I wanted something that was different from what I usually do. And when I started the company, so I always went to her for advice. What do you think I should do? How do you think I should work with this? How do you think I should work with this client? Or how do you think I should work with this particular customer? And she was always giving positive feedback. So your work is great. Your product is great, because the number one thing you should always have on track is the product. The product is great. So you have to make sure that it's properly and well done. To the point, I remember the first set of bags that I've released, her company also helped with like content creation for this particular product as well. It was extra work, which she didn't have to do and ADM didn't have to do as well, which also made me a long-lasting retailer in the company, because I just felt like a company, a brand that would do this and go above and beyond for you. I mean, they know your product is great, they know you are great, they know you're a good retailer, and you have good partnerships with them or a good relationship with them. But for them to go the extra mile, don't worry, when you bring your product, we're going to take it a step further and create more interesting content that we think works for our audience. I was very fascinated by that, and as time has gone by, like she rightfully said, a lot of things did improve in the regular business, which means that from packaging to delivery, and hardly ever do I have feedback from any customer, oh, the product wasn't properly distributed or we didn't get our order. She's always on time. I get my emails on time, I get my payment on time. I never have to like, oh, you guys, what's the update on payment for the month? The process is actually seamless, like beautiful and seamless. So I was very, very excited about that aspect of things. So by the time I started my lifestyle brand, which was more for furniture and creating things, this was a different aspect of the business, which is space between design. It's no longer the accessory line. So I had to start producing furniture and putting on the website. And I remember I had a huge challenge with a client, and all the time I would call her. Apart from just being friends, I felt like, she was a good business partner, because I could call her and like, what do you think? Where do you think we should go from here? Absorbing loss and stuff like that. How do you think I should move forward? And she was always so positive. Angel, I think we should do this. I don't think we should relax. I don't think we should hands up the project, which was also showing how resilient she is in her business and how resilient she is as a person. So I was very, very fascinated by that. And of course, I did stick with the project. It did end on a very great note, which I'm very thankful for, but I would never forget how she really walked me through that process. And times where I felt like I would have, like, I don't think I'm going to go ahead with this. I don't think it's something I want to do with my time. She's like, oh, Angel, I think we should, just give it one extra step. And it was amazing. Thus far, I have a lot of my products sold on ADM as well. And ADM has moved from just fashion to accessories to leave-in to regular jewelry. It's just insane. So even down to hats, because I am a hat person, so I buy a lot of my hats from ADM. I started my hat company.
I love your hat.
Exactly. So
she's launching her hat brand in a bit, so we're waiting for that. We can't wait.
Exactly, and because I already know the system and how ADM works and how seamless their process is, and the brand is going to be launched in Canada. And I think to have a Nigerian aspect of the business, I want to retail exclusively on ADM. So it's for me, I have my own personal brand. I could sell on my website, but I feel like I still want to do more things with ADM. That in itself shows how efficient and how seamless the brand is. That alone, because honestly, people would think, there's no reason to sell on a third-party website. But I think that just the way I will handle my brand is the exact same way ADM will handle my brand. She would never, or the brand as a whole would never treat it like, oh, this is the third-party brand, or, just send it. We don't care what happens. I've had questions asked like, oh, this product was sent a certain way. This client said, gotten feedback. This client said something happened to their outfit. Moving forward, I think we should do it like this. It is great feedback, efficiency, seamlessness. So I would say that she's right, because there are processes, that people have to go through to onboard on ADM. And for me, I think that some of this process are very, very essential, because she has a brand which she always tells me, I have a premium brand and I always want to maintain quality. I don't want a situation where tomorrow something is happening and they say, oh, it's on ADM. So I have to make sure I quality control and quality check every single thing that goes through this particular, through my website or through my brand. And it's very, 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 very scarce to have brands that are this pedantic about stuff, even in their business, or even about whatever thing that goes on in their in their organization. So I'm very, very happy that I'm on here to talk to you guys about my process. And to be honest, I'm a very detailed oriented person. I pay extra attention to details, and working with ADM has even taken my love for detail a step further, because when you work with someone who is just like you, or who understands the importance of details or being in tune with your business, it just makes your work times 2 easier. I have nothing else to say.
Am I blown? Thank you. This has made my entire year. Thank you for this feedback.
You're very welcome. Nothing that I'm saying is new. She knows this.
I know, but hearing it is different. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think, it's so helpful. And I think this is important for everybody here, like to find a mentor, to be able to support, because having someone who is outside of your business, be able to have a second set of eyes on what you're doing can be really helpful, because as entrepreneurs, we have kind of almost like our head in the sand, and in the sand is our business, and we're in so many details, and sometimes we need a fresh perspective to help us see what could be elevated, what we could do differently. And that's exactly the experience ADM is offering. And, I think one of the big challenges for e-commerce entrepreneurs is exactly all of those tiny details, like all of those administrative details, all of there's so many people who have challenges of just like getting in the international market. Like it's really, the struggle is real, so having someone to bridge that gap, to get that higher visibility is so incredible. So yeah, such a beautiful story. And I'm excited for your hat brand, Angel.
Yes. Thank you. And the details and attention she's put into it, I can't wait to see it. It's so like every other thing she is doing is aligning, Like she
Yeah.
understands where her brand will not compete with like international hat producers, because she on the details is there, and it has, she can read, she can put her hat on Farfetch and Neiman Marcus because the standard is there now. You understand? So you know, so it's a ripple effect. Once you get it right, you can always, you know, always improve. But that quality always has to be top notch. That is always the perception that worries me that people have about African brands, and we're trying to change that narrative. You know, we're doing our best. It's not easy, but it's really tough, Chris. It's tough.
Yeah.
But we are doing our best to keep building brands that can align with this vision. You know, slowly but surely, we're moving. Where we were last year is not where we are this year. It's also not where we're going to be next year. So keep adding more brands. Like currently, we have about 7 brands that are going under mentorship. Hopefully, if they pass the processes and they are currently, some of them are in their 4th stage, some are in their 6th stage. Well, once they reach their 7th stage and they pass the process, we'll onboard them. We want to have more brands, you know, but at the end of the day, we still don't want to compromise what we're trying to sell to the global market, because we want to have thousands of brands, you know, on the platform. So that's why we're very intentional, because before we shut down, we have over 200 brands retailing on ADM. You know, now we're taking it, you know, one brand at a time. We rather have 10 brands that are, you know, amazing, and you can say these brands are top notch, than have 100 brands that we're not proud of, right? Now people go like, so the feedback we're getting around the world is, if you want to get well-finished products, go to ADM. There's nothing you buy there that is not quality. So that alone is our mission. I will keep driving that, you know, and I'm so glad we'll be, you know, you've also exposed me to the to the e-com community as well, and I'll be.
Oh, I think we lost Emile.
Yeah, I think it's a network issue.
Yeah, let's just give her a moment to come back. She might need to reconnect. While we're waiting for her to come back, Angel, I'm curious about what your next phase is in your business now, from where you are now. What do you see the next kind of level of growth for your business?
So I would say that I've given my business like a trajectory of, you know, first things first, you get the product right. That's the most important thing for me. Get the product right, get this seamless distribution of products around the country, around the continent, and around the world. So when I get these 2 aspects of things right, then you can grow. Oh, Ebele is back. Hi.
So in Nigeria, we always have power outage. So yeah, sorry.
Oh,
it's okay.
I figured out like the next.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. My Wi-Fi just went off. I had to reconnect to another Wi-Fi. So sorry guys. Apologies.
That's fine. Well, while we were waiting, Angel was just telling us about like her next level of growth in her business.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. She has so much to do. So I'm happy to hear it as well.
I was telling her that, you know, first things first, for a very long time, my business has been about service and providing service to clients. As an influencer, even in this part of the world, you're always providing services to clients, you know, creating content, pushing branding and stuff like that. So, you know, going forward and creating my hat brand, my accessory line, my furniture line, everything is more, and like I said, focusing on distribution, focusing on product, and focusing on I would say quality, because the truth is these things are the most important aspect of branding for me. Every other thing is easy. You can get a brand expert to come in and revamp your business if you have a good product, if you already have good seamless distribution around the world. I mean, it's always easy for people to tell your brand story when you already have something good you're selling. So focusing on my hat company right now, I just want to make sure that I have all of these things unlocked, and in the next 2-3 years, you know, then you can focus on financial growth. growth, like how much money do we want to make in the next 2 years? How much money do we want to make in the first quarter and stuff like that? Then I can go into, okay, how do we want to scale this business? How big do we want to go? How do we get into the Middle Eastern part of business? How do we go into, the North America part of business? So all of these things put in place are how I intend my business to grow and trajectory of my business. So focusing on product quality, distribution. Then we go into the next step, which is branding, proper branding, which is you get the African market to talk about you, you get the American market to talk about you, and then you get the worldwide market talking about your brand. And all of these things can be achieved if you just properly put plans in place. Like right now, I want to focus on the African market. Right now, I want to focus on the American market. Right now, I want to focus on the South American market, then the Middle Eastern and stuff like that. And then eventually, as time will go on, I've never been someone who is obsessed with the money that you get for your business, because I feel like when you do everything right, the money will come. It's inevitable. So you have to make sure that there's actual structure in your business and every other thing. There is actual plan in place to make sure that there is money coming in continuously. Eventually, money is always going to flow in. Then if you want to make 50 million, 30 million, raise funds and stuff like that, that will be easily done because you put a lot of structure in place to ensure that your business has those type of funding or have access to that amount of money in the long run. So yeah, that's my plan.
Yeah, and I think, something that came up that you both talked about, which I think is something important to highlight, is just this idea of less is more, and really, really taking the time to focus on quality first and then focusing on growth after. And I think as entrepreneurs, we often do the opposite. We focus on growth first, and then we try to bring in the quality, and that's where things can get a little bit messy for the entrepreneur and for the clients as well, because they don't have that, incredible experience. So yeah, I would love to open up the room for any questions. If anyone has questions for Abel or Angel, you can either pop your question in the chat, or you can raise your hand in the room with the little reactions button at the bottom. And as we keep chatting, we can just kind of bring in some questions if anyone has questions. I'm just reading something in the chat here. Okay, Mayank, if you can send us an email, please, just because it's not necessarily something we can manage right here in the event. I'm going to put the email for Ecom Connect in the chat. So if you want to send us an email with some suggestions, that would be great. In the meantime, Angel and Ebele, would you mind just popping your websites in the chat if people want to go and take a look after this session?
Sure. I'll put both. I'll put the links. So I'll put Angel's direct link. Hold on, let me put. So this is the general.
Is there anyone that has any questions for Ebele or Angel, or just about this conversation in general? I'll give people a few minutes. Takes a moment sometimes for unmuting.
So let me put your store here. Okay.
Yeah, I have a comment.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Sedania. I'm Ethiopian, but I live in Kenya, Nairobi.
Okay.
I think from what Angel had said, I think Africa as a whole is very rich in culture and in many handcrafted things. And I think because I haven't traveled much outside of Eastern Africa in terms of Africa as a whole, it's in a way reassuring to see that craftsmanship that's not up to par is not just a problem within East Africa only, that other people from the other side have issues as well within Nigeria, because we hear so much about Nigerian crafts, and it's a huge market, but we never really get to see it firsthand here in Nairobi. So it's great to see that. And especially when you look at Ethiopia, and a lot of the things that are coming out of there, the creative things that are coming out of there. As a country rich with history and a lot of leatherworks and things like that, it's actually been very frustrating not to have quality things that can propel us to another level as a, as a continent as a whole, not just a country. And I wish more people actually paid attention to the details, to like really good craftsmanship, because I personally feel it doesn't take that much to be more in tune with your products and be more careful with how you do things. Because it just means that you're elevating whatever it is that you're doing to another level. With the market so large and us not really still stepping up to cover all bases, I just wish there was more of the the African Designers Mall and everything in Eastern Africa as well, that can kind of connect artisans with quality assurance, basically,
Yes.
so that what gets done here is not replicated 100 times, but with really like bad quality. Instead of like, Abella said, just having 10 brands that are really amazing instead of 100 brands that are just, iffy, basically. So it was good to attend the session to hear that. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We're looking to expand. We actually have a couple of brands that want to come from Kenya as well. We have a brand in Ghana. We have a brand in SA. So we'll try to onboard as many brands as we see, and also collaborating with International Trade Center as well will help us to expose us to brands that would like to also that in their community as well, that we can look at and also bring on board. So if Chris will also advise on brands we can work with as well. So the more we have different brands from different countries, the better for us. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that comment. Yeah. Mohammed, I see you have your hand up.
I want to ask something. Do you engage with your suppliers as a community? Is it the same person? Is it Tuli?
No, I think this is someone else. So you can go ahead and read that. Yeah.
Do you engage with your suppliers as a community? So, well, I don't call them suppliers because they are brands, right? We don't keep inventory, so they don't supply to us. So what we do is we create a digital, a dedicated digital home for each brand. So it's like your own website, it's your own brand, but it's just under ADM, right? So all your products are listed in that digital store. So we work with everybody as an individual brand, an independent brand. Nonetheless, we now have a new community we just started about 3 months ago called Project Create. These are brands that don't necessarily need a dedicated store, but they are creatives. So Project Create, what we're doing there is we're looking for creatives that have a unique product. It might just be one single product, but we're highlighting their crafts. We put them in a separate marketplace as one. So if you want like things like artworks and things like that, but we've kind of processed their products, they have a brand story that's more like sustainability, whereby, like for example, one of the brands we've discovered is a Boone family. It's a family of 7, father, mother, and children. They use threads to do art. So now we have gathered their items. We've told their story under Project Create, and that Project Create is a community of artists. So we're placing people that they're not qualified to own a store under Project Create, whereby their work can be seen, but their works are also well done. So those ones have to pass through the process of sending the products to us first before we send to customers. That way we see it firsthand, package it ourselves before we send to the customers. So for independent designers, we treat them as a business at a time. Yeah. Thank you.
Incredible work on Project Create. Thanks. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So, Epele, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, so how do you manage, like when working with different brands, how do you manage the photos that they submit on your blog? Because like working with different people, do you help them when taking photos, or you give them guidelines? So
Yeah, okay. So like I said earlier, when we mentor brands, we also kind of advise them on the kind of visual, because the world is visual. E-commerce, what we're selling is product, is photos, basically. I always say it as raw as it comes. What we're selling are photos, visuals, because people don't get to touch these products. So your power is in the product, is in the visuals of your product. So now, before you even, the first step to come on ADM is you have to send in your lookbook. Because first of all, if you don't take your brand seriously, we can't take you seriously. If you don't have a lookbook, then we just assume you're not serious because you don't want people to see your products. So with that lookbook, it even shows us that, okay, you're serious, step one, because what you're putting on your lookbook might not necessarily be used on the e-commerce, because e-commerce, you have to have the front view, side view, back view. Lookbook might just be the front view. But with that, we can now guide you to how to take your photos if you're around us, and we also provide that service. You want us to take the photos for you, you can send the products, we'll get the models and take the photos for you. That's a different package, right? But once in a while, we'll place products with like influencers as well. If you want, like, for have like shoots, and we'll have like things we're doing with like brands, we can also say, we're sending your products, let's start this brand and all. But that's different. That's like promotions and media. But to put the products on the platform, you have to do your photography. If you prefer us to do it for you, it's a different package. You can offer that service to you as well. I don't know if I answered your question.
He says, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Really
I
good.
always say e-commerce is visuals. Video, just it's the core of the business. First is making the product amazing. Second is making sure the photos and the videos interpret and sell you properly. It cannot be shabby. It can't.
Yeah.
It has to be well done. That's what differentiates you from other brands, because people can just put out products, and also these days, I also advise brands to leverage on lifestyle as well. People don't just want to see sell, buy, sell, I'm selling. They want to see how it's going to work in their everyday lifestyle. You're having coffee and wearing an outfit, you're wearing a hat and that's working, make it, relatable, so
Yeah.
there are different, the world has changed.
Yeah.
Consumer preference has changed, the way consumers shop has changed, the way they buy stuff has changed, everything has changed. Angel
Yeah.
will tell you, the top influencer here, and everything has changed.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, we have to, I think that's one of the main qualities that we have to have as entrepreneurs, is really being ready and open to change, because things are changing all the time in the world, and being able to adapt to that change and be innovative in our way of showing up. So I totally agree.
I totally agree, because now there are great brands. There are top brands that they are back there because they're not embracing innovation, and they're very good, but nobody remembers them anymore, right? So it's always good to, and e-commerce is the easiest way. If you really understand e-commerce, digital marketing, they're the easiest ways to be alive, your businesses to be alive, content marketing, content creation, and influencer marketing, all those things are necessary for e-commerce, for your business to boom. It's not just about running ads. It's way bigger than running ads. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is there any other questions before we tie up our session? These were great questions so far. No more questions?
one more question.
Yes, go ahead.
So I have like an e-commerce business here, so usually we sell electronics, and now when you sell the items of these brands, like, how do you handle also the payment? Like, when you take the payment, do you hold it for a certain period and then release it to the brands later? How do you handle that?
Yes. So what we do is this. To accommodate returns, because we don't have a lot of returns, but it's part of our processes. To accommodate returns or complaints, we hold the money and pay the customers 7 days after customer has received. That's when we pay. So customer pays, and 7 days after they've received their products, we get their feedback, everything is perfect, then we pay the merchant. So that way we can easily do a refund or not, if that makes sense. Yes,
That really helps a lot. Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome.
Well, Ebele and Angel, thank you so much for being here today and sharing both of your stories and just it's really, really inspiring the work that you are both doing. And I think that there was so much to learn from this conversation. We appreciate you coming in to Ecom Connect to share all of this with us. And if you're not yet member of Ecom Connect, I'm just going to put the link in here. You can join Ecom Connect for free. It's really just a community, and we have events happening every month. We have Get Inspired, we have Ask the Expert sessions, which are like webinars on soft skills and e-commerce related content. We have some networking events every month, lots of great stuff. So if you're not in there yet, join us. There's
Angel should join as well, because she's in the space.
Yeah, and we have the upcoming events, and we have just such a huge library of past events and recordings and content. So yeah, it's really great. And thank you everyone for joining us today. It was really great spending time with you, and just wishing everybody a really, oh wait, before I go, I always forget this. I'm just gonna take 2 seconds to launch this poll. If you have it's like a minute, just 3 questions, if you can answer that. It helps us kind of just know how this session helped you. What more would you like to see in Ecom Connect as we keep, building in different kinds of events and support for everybody. And yeah, I think that's going to be all for today. Ebele and Angel, is there anything you want to say before we tie things up?
Let me quickly finish with my question.
Okay, so
I was literally on the last question. I was on the last question.
Okay, okay, continue, Angel, after you. Yeah, go ahead.
See me, I was going to say after you, right after you, it's fine.
Oh, no, go on.
It's totally fine. So I would say that one of the things that I really loved, just to comment on the things you talked about to Mohammed.
You're
one of the
mute.
things I really love.
Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear her. Yeah, I can hear her.
I don't know. Can
you hear me?
I think Ebele is having problems.
Okay, I'm back. I think I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I was saying is just to contribute to what you said to Mohammed earlier about, your payment process. I think one thing that I really like about ADM is how swift the payment process is, and it just doesn't take so long. Because one thing I've noticed, I used to work a 9 to 5 at e-commerce company as well, and I know how long the process was. Having to eventually pay all the merchants on the website or on the platform. It was very, very stressful, and eventually you find out that merchants are not so happy because they can't really align a lot of things, like a lot of oh, what happened to this particular payment or what happened to that particular payment. So I like that it's easier. In 7 days, when they've received their product, they like what they got, they appreciate what they got. Fine, we'll go ahead and make your payment swiftly and close that chapter. So for me, even working with ADM, it's always so exciting for me when I feel like, oh, finally, at least this week, something's coming, this week something's coming, that week something's coming, and it's always notification, so you know exactly what is happening. So it's so exciting, and I would also give kudos to ADM, even to other e-commerce companies as well. I think it's something that they should emulate. They need to make sure that whenever they are dealing with people, especially people that it requires money, there needs to be some level of communication and transparency. When you get it, just know on this day you will get paid, on that day you get paid, and it's easier for more people to come on the website or come on the platform, and more people to even shop from your website, because they feel like, when the merchant is happy, the customers to an extent will be happy as well. So it makes sense.
I totally agree, because money can cause a lot of problems,
A lot of problems.
Money can cause a lot of problems. So we've tried to make it as seamless as possible, so that because our merchants they are the core of our business, right? If we don't have merchants, we can't make sales. So it's important people that aim to run e-commerce businesses or marketplace, make sure the customers are not just the people you're catering to. The merchants are as important as the customers, because if you're not happy, your business will not move swiftly. If you're not happy, you have problems with your, everything has to. So attention to details from both merchant side and customer side is very important to it. It's core for us. Or even like feedback from merchants. Do you like how this happens? Do you like how this happens? If we have an issue, I know we recently had an issue where with Angel, one of Angel's product as well, where I think what's the name of this company? This delivery company, they stole the product, in the US. Until now they're still investigating. And for me, I've told my team it's taking too long. At the end of this month, if they've not done refund, we'll have to pay her straight up and we can deal with the losses later. So these are the kind of things that we put into place, because it's her product, it's her money. Whether the delivery company lost it, it was what's this company? It's not DHL. What is the name?
It wasn't DHL. I think it was UPS.
UPS, yes, UPS. So yeah, because of the delivery timeline, we had to, UPS fulfill the delivery, and in the process, they lost the package to the customer. We processed a new set of products to the customer, shipped it to the customer. The customer was in shock. How did this happen so quick? And because at the end of the day, they paid for their products. We have insurance and we'll be paid at the end of the day. But we can't keep the customer waiting, and Angel as well. We'll have to pay her money as well. So it's important to take these kind of things very seriously. And not be selfish. And it's very, these little things make or break your business. So my final advice to anybody is run your business like a business. Avoid shortcuts, run it like a proper business. If you want to make money from your business, run it to make money. You can't have shortcuts, you have to run it and have structure, create a niche for yourself. You can't sell to everyone. Have a niche, service that niche, and you're going to make money. Your business will be successful. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Thank you. That's such great advice to end with. I love that. I love that. Mohammed said thank you as well in the comments.
Okay.
Well,
Mohammed.
That's a perfect way to end off. I love all that great feedback, and we're excited to just stay connected with you both in the upcoming months and year, and we will see everybody in the community. So have a really good end of the day.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Angel, for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Yes, absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.